Hey everybody, MntDewMania here. Welcome back to Warp Markiplier. And I've got an interesting subject I want to talk about today here on Redneck Rants. If you're keeping up with me, and I sincerely hope you are, you know we're on the letter T. And I will go ahead and spring the surprise on you. T is for talking. And let me tell you, first of all, the definition of talking according to the handy dandy dictionary. It is to communicate or exchange ideas, information, etc. by speaking. And as a matter of fact, I was speaking, in a manner of speaking, to my friend Lady Sakura on Skype. And as we often do, we were filling each other in on the whereabouts and what of happenings of Mr. One Markiplier. And she said, "Did you see Mark's latest post?" And I said, "No. I haven't had time to go on Facebook. What is going on?" Apparently, Mark had posted something that had happened between him and Matt and Ryan. You know, they were actually roommates at one time. Matt and Ryan, I don't know if Matt was, I think he was maybe, part of Syndigo, and then, of course, Daniel passed away, and then Syndigo was no more. But Matt and Ryan were kind of helping Mark with videos, and they were teaming up. And Mark talked about talking. He talked about they had stopped talking. Somewhere along the line, the friendship changed, and he wasn't communicating. They weren't communicating, and then you can go read the story yourself. It's on his Facebook. But anyway, that got me to thinking about talking. We are probably the luckiest species on this planet, simply because we can talk. We can communicate. If it hurts, we say "ow," and somebody goes, "Oh, what's wrong?" They know something's hurting. Okay, it's that simple. Communication is that simple. We have that gift, that ability that our fellow creatures on this planet do not have. We can understand some simple things from our animal friends. Even if for some reason you cannot speak, there are still dozens and dozens of ways we can communicate, thankfully. Through our own strong wills or science or whatever, it's still possible. Okay? We have that miracle, if you want to call it that. Our fellow creatures do not. We can kind of know when something is wrong with our pets, or because we understand whines or whimpers, or you can. There's a little basic communication, but unfortunately, nobody is Dr. Doolittle that I know of. And sadly, we are losing our ability to talk. Everybody's like, "What are you talking about, dude? We talk all the time." No, we don't anymore. We text all the time. We text our parents. We text our children. We text our friends. I doubt anybody can look up a friend. "Oh, well, I'll text her tomorrow." You know, I'll send him an email. I'll shoot that email right off. Why don't you call and talk to him on the phone? "Well, I've got this thing and this other thing," and then before you describe all the things, we don't talk anymore. People is like, "Oh, we communicate all the time." I didn't say anything about communicating. I said talking. Good old plain sit down with somebody on the front porch. Y'all have some iced tea and let's sit and talk about this thing. That is the kind of talking I'm talking about. It's strange how sometimes good, wonderful things can slowly turn into not so good, wonderful things. Do not misunderstand me. I love computers. My God, I live on mine. I get it. I understand it's easier and more convenient to text someone or email someone or tweet someone or message someone or whatever media you choose to use. I get that. I totally get that. We seem to be busier and busier and busier as our lives go on. It's just that's just the nature of the beast, I guess. And I get that. I do. I'm somewhat tech savvy, not, completely, but I do understand it. Okay? But the problem is there is there's a talent to talking. Um, and we are losing that. We are losing that ability to do it well. If kids, I think if young people getting ready to do a job interview could text it in, with a bunch of emojis and some LOLs and OMGs, they would get a job instantly. We are losing our ability for talking to each other. And it's sad. We are the only ones blessed with this gift or miracle or whatever you want to call it. And we are losing it either through advancing technology, our own laziness, but most of all, through misunderstanding and anger and not being able to communicate, not being able to talk about it, talk through it. I don't want you to talk at me. I want you to talk to me. Big difference. But what happened, what Mark talked about on his Facebook, is very true. We do that, unfortunately. And it has ruined lives. It has ruined families. I think we all can. You can name somebody. Oh, yeah, it's sad about so-and-so and their son. They haven't talked in years. Because they got mad over something and nobody knew how to communicate right and talk about it, and it ruined families. It does it every day. A family, friends, is just ruined every day because of our inability to talk. Of course, the opposite of that is talking too much. Yogi Berra said it was impossible to get a conversation going. Everybody was talking too much. Now, that is the other end of the spectrum, but it's just as true. Sometimes everybody has something to say, but nobody's saying anything, but all you can hear is just a talk. Nothing is getting communicated. Nothing. It's just mouth. And it's usually mouth because everybody wants to be heard. With the result, nobody is being heard. For supposedly the brightest species on this planet, that's pretty dumb, don't you think? We have this gift of communication that no other species has, and we can't do it. Now, how's that? I guess millions probably have had the fantasy. I would love to be able to talk to animals. I would love to be able to communicate and know what they're thinking and feeling and doing and what they dream about, or do they, and we can't even do that with our kids, our friends, our family, because we don't know how to articulate it. We don't know how to talk about it. We don't have time to talk about it. It amazes me that we can't do this simple thing coherently, nicely, friendly. Even if you want to have a strong animated discussion about something, a debate, if you will, it ends up 9 times out of 10 in somebody getting their feelings hurt or somebody getting pissed off because what they heard, what they talked about with the other person, they didn't like it. Now, remember we talked about honesty in one of these rants, and I told you my feelings on honesty. Most people don't want to hear the honest truth. They don't want it to be talked about because they don't like it. It's not what they believe, so therefore it is wrong. So shut your mouth. I don't want to hear it. How many times have you said that to somebody? I just shut up. I don't want to hear that. Now, you could have been joking, but were you? Did you strongly disagree with that person so much that you wanted them to stop talking just because you didn't want to hear what they had to say? Yep, I'm just as guilty as anybody else. I have done it. I have done it. I have done it. I have done it to family. I have done it to friends. I have done it to people I don't like. I'm sure we've all done guilty of that. I admit it freely. I am also probably on the other spectrum. I can get on a roll. I can preach and ask my kids. They will tell you, God, Mama, please shut up. Shut up. Oh, I say that in jest, but it's probably very true. And I know that about myself. I'm one of those people. I can very much own up to my own faults. Thank God, because I would probably be insufferable if I couldn't. I can joke about myself. People can joke about me. I don't care what people say. Which brings us to my next point. Eleanor Roosevelt said, "Great minds discuss things. Average minds discuss events. Small minds discuss people." There is just so much talking that, that is just wrong. I know you're saying now, wait a minute, dude, you're misquoting yourself here. First you say we don't talk enough, now you're saying we talk too much. No, what I'm saying is that sometimes this ability we have, it's just totally wasted. Of all the things that you want to talk about, you want to talk about that? We can't discuss, we can have a good, animated, lively discussion about something. That's what you want to talk about? Are you kidding me? With everything that's going on in the world right now, that's what you want to talk about. And why does it have to be gossip? Why can't we talk about taxes or what your mom made for dinner last night, or where'd you get those cool shoes, or why does it have to be about that? Haven't we beaten that into the ground enough? That's what I'm saying. We are talking at each other. We are not talking to each other. If it does not interest us, if we do not like it, we are not going to talk about it. We are going to push it to the side, make some kind of joke about it, and find somebody like-minded that will talk about the things we want to talk about because it makes us feel comfortable. How many parents out there, how many of y'all have talked to your kids about drugs? Probably all of us have. And you have talked and talked and talked to your blue in the face, and then you find out your kid's smoking pot. You have talked to your purple in the face, and you feel like you're getting ready to have a stroke about drinking, and you find out your kid calls you, "Mom, you got to come and get me. I kind of got a ticket. I was drunk." Oh, that talking didn't go so good, did it? But how many of you have talked to your kids about sex? Now, I don't mean sitting and blushing on the bedside trying to figure out, talking about, now when you get married. No, I mean honest to goodness facts. Okay? That's something you'll learn. Your mother will talk about that. Well, that's your father's job to talk about. Talk, people. What is wrong with everybody? If you do not talk, kids will go to somebody that will talk. And you bet what if they don't have the right information you want your kid to have? How many times have you looked at your kid and said, "Where in the world did you learn that?" "Oh, I was talking to so-and-so. They told me." Oh my God. No, 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 no. Why are you saying that? No, that's not right. Well, I tried to talk to you about it, Mom, and you wouldn't listen. Uh, there you go. Well, you buried yourself. So don't blame anybody but yourself. Then uh, we have those people that really can't talk to somebody's face. They cannot come up to you and talk to you to your face. Oh, but can they talk behind your back? Uh huh. I found a cute little quote that said, "Don't worry about those who talk behind your back. They're behind you for a reason." Now, I think that was meant, they're not as good as you. You know what I mean? They're beneath you for being that mean and nasty, and they're not on your level. I think it's where it's coming from. I'm coming from the point, yeah, they're behind your back talking because probably they're too gutless to say it to your face. That's the point I'm coming from. Now, you guys know, and I have said it, I think, enough. I have always tried to raise my kids this way. My daddy always told me, you have no business saying anything about anybody behind their back unless you have the balls to say it to their face. That is my belief. I have taught it to my children. I will stand by it forever. I am not a gossiper. I do. Oh, did you? Oh, I gotta tell you about. Have you told so and so? Well, no, I can't say anything. It's not. Then I don't want to hear it. Uh, did the person that started this? Did they say that to so and so's face? No, I don't want to hear it. And if you do want me to hear it, you better be prepared for the fact that I am going to go tell so and so, these people are talking behind your back and this is what they're saying. Not because I'm a tattletale, because I feel that if something is being said maliciously behind somebody's back, they have a right to know what it is so they can defend themselves or at least shut the people up. I would want that courtesy at least. Okay? It's, I don't know what it is with us. We are just so, we have this wonderful ability, this wonderful gift. Think about it, folks. Some people can't talk. So why are you wasting such a wonderful gift first in not talking at all, or just, random bull crap that nobody wants to hear, or you don't have time? You only get so many days on this planet, folks. So I suggest you take some time. This is going to be my challenge for the day. And there's that talk. You know the one. It's in the back of your head. You're already thinking about it. You wanted to have with somebody. There's some things that you wanted to say to somebody. And for whatever reason, you couldn't find the way to talk about it. That is your challenge from me to you. I want you to find that way to talk about it with that person. Whatever it is. Hard, easy. I haven't got around to it, but I meant to. I haven't seen that person in a long time. I wish I could talk to him and try to fix things. I know I can never fix things, but I just wanted to talk to him one more time and say I wish I could. I'm sorry. And then at least in your own heart and mind and soul, you can say, I tried. I tried to talk and it didn't work, or thank God it did work and now I can move on. What they decide is their business. Okay? You cannot change that. But you can change how you feel about it. Okay? There's one more point, and I am very bad at this. I wanted to bring this up really, really quick. I am a very talk to yourself kind of person. I love having discussions with myself. Not that my daddy always said, if you talk to yourself, no matter what, you're always right. And I thought to myself, that's a good thing. And he goes, no, not always. And I had to think about that for a while to figure it out, but I finally got it. Let me know if you get it. Um, but actually, yourself is a very good person to have a conversation with. My daddy also said, my daddy had a lot of good sayings that I'm only now recognizing as really good sayings. Um, my daddy always said, you can lie to the whole world, but if you talk to yourself in a mirror, you can't lie to yourself for long. I think I've brought that up before. That's true. You can bullshit the whole world, folks, but I'm telling you, after a while, you can't you can't lie to yourself. You just can't do it. Not looking yourself straight in the face. And if you can, then you are a much more manipulative, stronger person than I want to know. Because I have found that I cannot lie to myself. Not when I'm looking at myself in the mirror. So that is a good way to have a good talk with yourself. Um, Franklin P. James said, one advantage of talking to yourself is that you know at least one person is listening. Where are you going to go? You're standing in front of a mirror. You got to listen to yourself. Nobody else listen. Oh, well, I don't have time. I've got to do this thing. I'll text you later. I don't like you. I'm not talking to you. I'm mad. I have a headache. Whatever. you know. Yeah, Mom, I hear you. You see what I'm saying? But you are a very good talker, and you are also a very good listener. So have a good talk with yourself. I have encouraged my kids to do this all the time when they have a problem. Make lists, talk to yourself about it. I'm a huge believer in column. Column talking is what I've always called it to my kids. You make a column of yes, you make a column of no, you make a column of good, bad, ever how you need to break something up, and you talk to yourself about it. Okay, I put this on the good list. Why? I put this on the negative side. Why? Why'd you do that, Sizzy? Well, because ABCD. Okay, I get it. Okay. I do the same thing when I am writing. I talk to myself all the time. Is this where I want to go? Is this what I want to say? Is this all right, Susie, think about this. How are people going to see this? How are people going to perceive it? Is that really what you need to say to people? I do it all the time. So it's funny. Again, it amazes me that we have this wonderful ability to just communicate and say anything that we feel, and we cannot do it. And we are slowly losing the ability to do it good. Because it's easier for me to sit down and do a little exercise with my thumbs on my phone. Oh, but yeah, they know what I'm saying. They know what I'm talking about. But the essence, the core of it isn't there. It's words. But I put a smiley face at the end of it. People. Come on. I say this more and more and more as the days go by and I get older and older and older. We do not have infinite amount of time. So if you have something to say to somebody, you need to say it. You are not promised tomorrow. You are not promised an hour from now. We have this blindness in it that the horizon is just infinite. It goes on forever. But I hate to be the grim reaper, but the sun sets and it's all luck. It's all unknowable, You don't know when you're going to get a chance to talk to that person. That person, you could get mad at them. Y'all have a huge fight. Nobody talks. They drive off into the sunset, and then you hear about the car crash the next day. I'm just saying it really is that easy to happen because you cannot find a way to talk to somebody. So that is my challenge to you. And I found this last little quirky thing to say as the sun goes down. I thought it was kind of cute. Um, Keep talking. I always yawn when I'm interested. There you go, guys. You guys have a wonderful day. Tell me in the comments what is your hardest thing that you've ever had to talk about with somebody. I'll see you guys next time. For right now, this is MntDewMania. I'm so out of here. Later, guys.